Hello, fellow rebel capitalists. Hope you're well. Big macroeconomic news today out of Turkey. They're raising their minimum wage to 50, or excuse me, they're raising their minimum wage by 55%. Of course, they're doing this to beat inflation. Oh, you guys can already see where this is going. Let's shoot over to CNBC. Let me do a screen share. Title: Turkey hikes minimum wage by 55% as inflation and living cost crisis bite. Right. But you guys know how to beat inflation is you have to increase supply and you have to decrease demand. That's why higher prices cure higher prices. But what they are doing is they are not decreasing demand, they are increasing demand. So although most of you who gave the last video a thumbs down would agree that this is a good thing because, hey, times are tough, right? We got to give people money. Times are tough. We got to ask mom and dad for some. We got to ask mom and dad to pay our phone bill, our cell bill. I mean, times are tough, right? And therefore, we got to ask the government to go ahead and give us a $25 minimum wage. Anyway, I'm just picking on the haters. But you guys know the gist of what's going on here. We've seen this with the stimmies. We've seen this with the gas stimmies. And I think we're going to see this into the future with a universal basic income. And ironically, one of the excuses they'll probably use is, hey, inflation's high. Times are tough. Higher prices. We got to give people more money to afford the higher prices. But what does that do? That just makes things worse because you're increasing demand. Therefore, prices will just go higher and higher and higher, and you will be shooting these people in the foot that you are trying to help. Because while they may temporarily have more purchasing power, give it a couple months, and their purchasing power in aggregate total is going to go down. Key talking points: the move is aimed at easing the impact of surging living costs. And another reason I think this story is important, guys, is to, number one, see the direction of which way the political winds are blowing. And it's definitely blowing in the direction of a CBDC. Therefore, universal basic income would be far easier under that scenario. And I also think where this is leading is going to be price controls, because they're going to see that, oh my gosh, if we keep increasing demand, that's just making the problem worse. So what's the next logical conclusion for these complete morons that are part of today's political class and global elite? Well, price controls. If increasing demand doesn't solve inflation, then we'll just manhandle prices by not allowing the business owners to increase them. Those greedy capitalists. At the end of the day, those greedy capitalists are the ones that are at fault. Just like the reason you're living at home or the reason your mom is paying your phone bill isn't your fault. Oh, no. It's because of the conditions that have been set up by the boomers. It's because of the economy. It's because of fill in the blank, right? Turkey announced its hike of minimum wage by 55% Thursday amid a cost of living crisis, which is a result of too much demand and not enough supply. Oh, it's just so basic, isn't it? Just so basic. But people vote for it. That's at the end of the day, unless this guy's a dictator. I don't know how the politics work in Turkey, but here in the United States, if we raise the minimum wage to, let's say, $20, and this creates all this economic destruction and hurts the people that it's meant to help, we've got no one to blame but ourselves, honestly, because we're voting for this. And if the people immediately would vote out someone that raised the minimum wage, guess what the politicians would not do? Raise minimum wage. So the Turkish president, Erdogan, in a televised speech from Ankara Thursday, said the monthly minimum salary would be going to, have fun with that. Have fun with that. Easy prediction here. The inflation rate in Turkey is going to go up. Pretty much no brainer. There are no certainties, only probabilities. But I think that's pretty much the highest probable thing that we'll discuss in the next 6 months. Boy, talk about just making matters worse. I just feel sorry for the people over there. The country's rate of inflation slowed for the first time in more than 18 months. Oh, good job. And now guess what's going to happen? It's going to go right back to where it was, if not go higher. Up 84% annually. A slight decrease from 85%. Oh, yeah, that is a huge decline. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure that consumers are just reaping the rewards from inflation going from 85.5% all the way down to 84.4. Yeah, I'm sure the consumer is just taking a sigh of relief. Jeez. More now, the minimum wage is the highest in Turkey in the last 20 years. Ragip Soylu, Turkey bureau chief for Middle East Eye. Okay, that must be a publication. Wrote in a tweet, it will go really well with Erdogan's core voters. There you go. See, you got no one to blame but yourself. The voters are literally saying, we want you to destroy us. Please make our lives worse. All these videos that I've been doing, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about sound money lately. You guys, for those of you who watch my videos, you know that well. And, I came into this being a sound money guy. I mean, I thought, you hear it so often, repeated over and over and over again, that I assumed that, sound money is definitely, if not, it might not be the only answer, but it's definitely part of the solution. Definitely part of the solution. And so I came into this research wanting the solution to be sound money. But the more and more I looked into it, the more it seems like I don't think sound money would be bad. I think on net balance, it would definitely be good, but it's not going to fix the problem. It's just not. And through, I'll discuss this more in the future, obviously. And tonight's whiteboard video will kind of illustrate my point to a certain degree. But sound money, I don't want to yet say that it wouldn't do anything. But I'm confident in saying, with all the research, the data, the numbers, the charts, the graphs that I have, that it most likely wouldn't do much. So you say, George, what is the solution? This. Unfortunately, you can't engineer a specific outcome, not even with sound money. You have to change human beings, not the way they're hardwired, but you just have to convince them that this is not a good idea. That's really, at the end of the day, guys, it's not all we've got, but that's our biggest weapon, is just our ability to persuade other people that increasing taxes or increasing minimum wage or increasing the size of government is a bad idea, and it's just going to make matters worse. That's really what this boils down to. Just to reiterate here, guys, and I don't want to go too far off on a tangent here because I'll do other videos on it, but our greatest tool that we have at our disposal, the thing that will move the needle the most in this effort to decrease the size of government, to stand up for liberty, freedom, free market capitalism, the thing that will have the greatest impact, and possibly one of the only things at the end of the day that will actually have an impact, is our ability to persuade our fellow citizens. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. As always, make sure that you're standing up for freedom, liberty, free market capitalism. We'll see you in the next video.